With mad skills I healer, we can't go wrong. Dean and Katie, the mods on the team, keeping the chat clean, like a shining beam. They're the backbone of the channel, always by our side. Together we're united, through every game and stride. In the World of Warcraft, our joy is complete. When that skills and his community, we can't be beat. From healing in dungeons to PvP mayhem, we're the best that found, rocking the game and anthem.
I can't feel my legs. Where is my alive? Holy shit. What the fuck? I literally looked at it and I died.
Grinding keys, we rise and shine. Let community on the path to climb. Pushing boundaries, never gonna stop. Mythic plus runs, we reach the top. Dungeons and bosses, a challenge we crave. Slaying monsters with fearless and brave. 1 to 15, we conquer each stage. In Mythic plus, we're all the rage. Body's depleted, but we feel alive. Pushing limits, we strive to strive. From low to high, we're always on the go. The thrill of the chase, it makes us glow.
Jesus Christ! Huge moth here. Man, it's okay, dude. Okay, dude. I'm out of here, dude. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Embrace your core. Embrace your belly muscles. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's enough. 7. Oh my god, this is more than I thought. Oh my god.
Call the hospital.
He's dead. Like a raccoon that would potentially kill you.
Hey there.
Special thanks to Dean and KVN for providing me the clips, and for every pleb community members, subscribe to Matt Skills on YouTube.
When that skill starts streaming, we all gather around, happy and excited, ready to throw it down. We're part of the pleb community, our love is strong. With mad skills I healer, we can't go wrong. Dean and Katie, the mods on the team, keeping the chat clean, like a shining beam. They're the backbone of the channel, always by our side. Together we're united, through every game and stride. In the World of Warcraft, our joy is complete. When that skills and his community, we can't be beat. From healing in dungeons to PvP mayhem, we're the best that found, rocking the game and anthem.
I can't feel my legs. Where is my alive? Holy shit. What the fuck? I literally looked at it and I died.
Grinding keys, we rise and shine. Let community on the path to climb. Pushing boundaries, never gonna stop. Mythic plus runs, we reach the top. Dungeons and bosses, a challenge we crave. Slaying monsters with fearless and brave. 1 to 15, we conquer each stage. In Mythic plus, we're all the rage. depleted, but we feel alive. Pushing limits, we strive to strive. From low to high, we're always on the go. The thrill of the chase, it makes us glow.
Jesus Christ! There's a huge moth here. Nice. Okay, dude. Okay, dude. I'm out of here, dude. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Raise your core. Embrace your belly muscles. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's enough. 7. Oh my god, this is more than I thought. Oh my god.
Call the hospital.
He's dead. Like a raccoon that would potentially kill you.
Hey there.
Special thanks to Dean and KVN for providing me the clips, and for every pleb community members, subscribe to Matt Skills on YouTube.
When that skill starts training, we all gather around, happy and excited, ready to throw it down. We're part of the pleb community, our love is strong. With Matt Skills our healer, we can't go wrong. Dean and Katie, the mods on the team, keeping the chat clean, like a shining beam. They're the backbone of the channel, always by our side. Together we're united, through every game and stride. In the world of Warcraft, our joy is complete. When Matt Skills and his community, we can't be beat. From healing in dungeons to PvP mayhem, we're the best pleb fam, rocking the game in anthem.
I can't feel my legs.
Where is my alive? Holy shit. What the fuck? I literally looked at it and I died.
Grinding keys, we rise and shine. Pleb community, on the path to climb. Pushing boundaries, never gonna stop. Mythic plus runs, we reach the top. Dungeons and bosses, a challenge we crave. Slaying monsters with fearless and brave. 1 to 15, we conquer each stage. In Mythic plus, we're all the rage. Body's depleted, but we feel alive. Pushing limits, we strive to strive. From
Hello, Chatter Radios. We're back at it again, man. I'm actually sick of cleft. Dark flame cleft testing, man. I don't know, maybe it will change it up a bit. But then again, it just feels good to see how each healer feels with the same dungeon.
Hey, 51 months with
Oh,
a good fan.
Lilith,
Let's
let's
go,
go! Lilith, I hope you're doing well. I hope. Are you excited for season 2? Have you decided on the main? Have you decided on which healer? Or maybe not even a healer. I've seen so many people. I've seen so many healers going away from healing in the last 2 or 3 months. I've seen so many people going away from healers in the last, I want to say 2 or 3 months. It's actually kind of wild. I need to see if my character's still dead. Oh, I'm logging in. Yo, Flux, how are you doing today? First today. Hello, Easy. All hail the king of plebs. The depleter of keys. I guess there's no... Do you know if the depletion... Oh, we're servers down. Do you know if the key depletion is account-wide? It's not. It can't be.
It's not. That's just a dumb question. Yo, Beamster, how you doing? I hope you're having a wonderful Friday. It's Friday, right? I'm feeling a little bit burnt out from the testing. I'm not gonna lie, man. We're gonna test. Yo, James. I'm early today. Let's roll. I hope everyone's having a beautiful Friday. Friday is the best day of the week, in my opinion. Friday, Saturday, right? What we're gonna test? I need to retest Holy Paladin. I need to test Prez Boy. I need Holy Paladin. I need Prez Boy. And then maybe Farseer, Resto Shaman, and Holy Priest. Probably Holy Priest and Farseer, Resto Shaman, in that kind of order. That's what we're gonna try and do. I needed to retest Holy Paladin because I had a really weird run last time. It doesn't show up. Why is this not showing up? My details is screwing me. Ah! I can't swap the current or non-current. My HPS on Paladin was a little bit... I mean, Holy Shock was popping off, dude. Holy Shock was poppity, 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 poppity. Poppity! Who do I do first, though? Super excited. This goes to Druid thing. I might off-spec or alt a tank, but I don't know. Can't imagine not healing, to be honest. I'm the same with you. I can't imagine not healing a patch. I'm with you, Lilith. Healing high five. I actually had a pretty decent time on Paladin. But I feel like that's more to do with the dungeon I was doing than anything else. But I had a decent time on Paladin, man. Paladin dreams. Paladin dreams. Paladin dreams. Paladin dreams. My details is broken. What is going on? If only Priest or Evoker had a tank spec. Evoker tank spec. What would that look like? Priest tank is unimaginable, right? I guess Priest tank is a Paladin tank or similar to it. I don't know. Brewmaster. Brewy boy. Brewy brewy. Brewy, brewy, brewy. Brewy. Yeah, there's something wrong with my details. I just need to turn them off or something. There's something wrong with my details. We're gonna do one. We're gonna do Cleft. I need to do Cleft again just to see how Holy Paladin deals, because I was honestly kind of surprised about how Paladin felt. Holy Paladin. Holy Plebadin. Holy Paladin. Holy Plebadin. Sorry. What did I put this point in? What did I put this point? Oh, I put it in this. I need to do Prez as well. I need to do Prez Boy as well, dude. There is raid testing today, but I don't know if I'm going to be doing raid testing. It's Mythic and the guild did the raid testing. I end up missing 2 of the guild's raid testing nights, which is just haunting me, dude. And I don't know anything about which healer to play. There's nothing going on. There's absolutely nothing going on, boys. There is absolutely nothing. Yo, the Monst. Thank you for the prime, dude. I'm saying that I'm butchering your name. I apologize, dude. I'm butchering. Butcher of the pleb street. Let's see how hard it's gonna be to find groups. Let's see how hard it's gonna be to find groups, man. I want to check out the Paladin Dream. Paladin Dream. We got a first player. I'm actually surprised by how many people sign up for 12s. I don't want. Is this enhancement? I think this was enhancement as well. I don't want. I'm actually surprised. Can you even enter the dungeon? Oh, Cleft is actually bugged, bro. Cleft is actually bugged again. They still haven't fixed that. Hallelujah. 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 Delete Holy Priest and give it to Protection Paladin. Shit. Yo, Windgrass, we're waiting for the Mistweaver nerfs. They're doing some crazy DPS, HPS, and Mythicals right now. And seems mandatory at least. Take away from most creators. I think Discipline is in as good of a spot as a Mistweaver, honestly. Maybe not exactly DPS wise, but I actually think Discipline is falling under the radar by a lot of people. I actually think Mistweaver and Discipline are really good. And I wish every healer would feel like that. Maybe that sounds weird. Where am I going? Hmm. 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 No, this was the same issue yesterday. Also, Holy Paladin. Honestly, it felt like pretty good yesterday. It felt better than expected, if I'm being honest with you. Looking for instance, not just those for all of today. Apparently, still not fixed. Wait, really? Is it worse than yesterday? Dude, why am I streaming then? This might be over. What the hell? I do think this has an edge in terms of edge and mystery in terms of utility, PI, forward, mindset, control, like for workshop. Yeah, the workshop tech has to be removed. I worry Mistweaver is one nerf the Jade empowerment away from being just okay. I hope they're not gonna nerf Mistweaver anymore. For sure. I think you're right, actually. I think you're actually right. It's a nerf Jade empowerment more. I don't think they will. But I think if they nerf a bit more, it can be fucked. Oh, Bradas, thank you for the 30 months. Dude, I don't know if this is gonna work. They should bring up all the other healers. Dude, I'm about to make a video. You're literally just I'm about to make a video about the top healers and basically pleading that every healer should feel like Mistweaver or Disc right now, because healing Mythic Plus is fucking tough, believe me. There is a shitloads of healing checks this season. Like, I feel like there's more healing checks this season than there is last season. It's manageable with Mistweaver and Disc. I feel every healer should be like, for the betterment of the game, every healer. Like, the fact that they're nerfing Mistweaver Thunder Focus T is actually cringe, because they should be buffing other healers. Like, because believe me, man, people are just gonna quit. I'll tell you, people are just gonna get quit. It is extremely daunting. Extremely daunting, dude. Like, I don't know, like, I think Blizzard needs to really think about healer power right now. And in my opinions, they need to freaking like, just make all the other healers more in line with them. Because I like doing keys with those healers, because it feels rewarding. It feels like for the effort you put in, you're getting stuff out of it. And the healing checks, at least on these plus 12s, doesn't feel Oh, I thought it went in. It's not gonna work, boys. Stop dumbing down healing. It's too hard stress for some players. It'll be they need to stop dumbing down healing. It'll be too hard stress for some players, and that's okay. Are you talking about like healing checks and stuff? It's been broken for 8 hours plus. It was broken. Wait, it was broken yesterday though, and I was still able to enter. Are we talking about it's completely broken? Like since yesterday? Okay, man. Why did I do the stream then? I'll just go work on a video. This was the biggest bait I've ever seen in my life. This was the biggest bait I've ever seen in my life, man. This is over. The guy's telling me that the rookery one works. At least he tried it 2 hours ago. He's saying it worked. Man, this is a great stream. Thank you, Blizzard, for allowing us to test. Free testing from the community. And the servers are just no opera. Might be doing tuning changes. I thought that as well. I thought they were doing the scaling changes. Really hot take, but remove from the focus team, rebalance everything interacts with. Interesting. That might be a hot take. Oh, I missed it. Break sent. So sorry, I missed your message, man. I'm plebbing. Long time, video first time live. You do great work, dude. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. But this is gonna be, this was the biggest debate in the history of streaming, man. Servers don't work. I can't test Mythic Plus. And I started stream, dude. I don't even know. What can I do? I wanted to test out my Holy Paladin a bit more. I can't teleport to no dungeon. I think I might just do a video instead. And I really wanted to test today. Sing us a song. What song? Bro, this is just, it's unplayable. No wonder there's like so little groups. I was like, what is going on? Why are there no groups at? I was like, what's going on? Why are there no groups? Why are there no groups at, brother? Now I see. An Irish kid song? An Irish kid song? I don't even know. Yo, Lord Keen, how you doing, brother? I guess my video viewing trend continues. I don't. If the server, if I can't test Mythic Plus,
12 more months. Almost there, boy.
let's go sausage, dude. Should I tattoo sausage on my butt or something else? Just sausage or big. After the 12 months. Let me see. You just can't enter dungeons. You just can't enter the dungeon, bro. It's just, oh. I think they're completely down, man. I think they're completely off, brother. What do I do, man? Do I just do a video? I didn't really want to do a video today. I didn't really want to do a video today, boys. Where's Marie? Mouse? Should I do Mamba and the sausage will be 200 months? 200 months, imagine. Imagine, friend. They seem to be completely down, the dungeon servers. They seem to be completely down, man. I can't even enter. Let me try a different... Can't even enter, man. It just says... You can't really see it. It just says... Additional instances cannot be launched. Please try again. It seems like the instances are down. It seems like the instances are down and they're not going up, boys. So the whole testing dungeons all day today has been a lie. And I'm deeply disappointed. Man. It's why the real Season 2 testing for Holy Paladin jumping around the Donegal without a group, a dungeon to do. I actually felt like my testing on Paladin was better than expected. I'm not even kidding. But to be honest, the output is just low. It's just it's so big issues and problems with healers. Big issues and problems with healers. Big issues and problems with healers. What is it? Holy Paladin Plus. For this season only. Holy Paladin. Actually, we'll just start off with minuses. Oh, no, plus. Holy Shock is stronger. Holy Shock is stronger. Hopefully will lead to Holy Shock talents being more viable. It's not really right now, but hopefully it'll do something like that. So Holy Shock is stronger. Plus Holy Shock buffs lead to less reliance on cooldowns like wings. Good thing. Very good thing, right? Time to get me started on some keys. Wait, you doing retail keys? Let's go, brother. Let's go. What other things can we include in the positives of Holy Paladin? I've slacked way too much. I get that. I mean, next season you only need to get 3,000 to get the mount. Next season you need to get that mount. What's the other positive things that happened in season 2? What would you say? I don't even know, man. Positive things for Holy Paladin. Let's do negative. Push towards Holy Light gameplay. I don't like the push towards Holy Light gameplay. Long cast and expensive. Blizzard seems very scared about over buffing Paladin healing. Blizzard is very scared about this. They've been doing very small incremental buffs to it. Blizzard seems very scared about overbuffing Paladin healing. Therefore, their HPS seems to be lacking towards right now. Push towards Holy Light gameplay. Long casts are expensive. And for some people, I don't know. It's neither a plus nor a minus. Neither a plus nor a minus. Lightsmith is getting nerfed. Some people might like that, some people might not. It's an in-between. I think that's an okay list. But I don't want to suffer getting into early keys groups because of season 1 crap score. Gonna drag my dead body over 3k somehow. Dude, not a bad idea. Between Resto Shaman and Holy Paladin, which you think is currently better? Honestly, those are probably the two. I think Resto Shaman is better, but I think both of those healers could receive some love. If I'm being honest. Holy Paladin, let's do Resto Shaman then. Let's do Resto Shaman for you. Shaman. Pluses. Fire Seer is getting buffed. Fire Seer is getting buffed. That's a good thing. Key bind space is reduced. Healing Tide Totem. Sorry. Mana Tide Totem into Healing Tide Totem and stuff like that. Which again are not bad things. They're not bad things. You speak Sami and Pali are need nerves. Wait, which ones? Can you say that again? Keybind space is reduced, which is nice. No one's gonna argue with that. Minuses is Farseer needs to cast Healing Rain. A lot of Farseers don't like that. Tier set and Acid Rain buffs. Resto Shaman is just not getting as much changes since they got them all early for season 1, so there isn't much hype around the spec while still being really solid. Yeah, I probably would agree. The thing is that here, this is the problems. Farseer needs to cast Healing Rain, Tear Set, Acid Rain, because of Tear Set, Acid Rain. Farseer Ancestors possibly need a redesign. Smart healing. So the problem with Farseer right now, if you're playing Resto Shaman, is that it is working with your master and stuff like that. And especially in raid environments, it tends to lead to a lot of overhealing because you heal someone when a Farseer is out, and a Farseer is going to heal that person as well. So it just tends to lead to a lot of overhealing, and looking at the whole design of Farseer Ancestors, there is possibly a rework that needs to happen there. Possibly. Are you saying they're strong in PTR and they need a nerf? No, Holy Paladin and Resto Shaman are probably... Well, I think Resto Shaman numbers are more than fine. They could technically use a buff in my opinion, because there's healers that are better than them, but Resto Shaman has a lot of utility, so that's fine. Their output is still strong. I think the mana issues... Oh yeah. Mana issues with Totemic. Mana issues with Totemic. Loss of old tier set. Just watch my latest video. Estimation Mike tier set. I talk about like which healers could use more changes. My thing is not working. Tier set? Tier list, brother. I'm plebin. Is Holy Priest better or worse than Holy Paladin and Resto Shaman and PTR right now? Holy Priest got substantial nerfs this week because they fixed the bug with Trail of Light. And the bug with Trail of Light, so there's a couple of people who were like, the Trail of Light bug was so substantial. In my initial testing on the first 3 weeks, you had a Trail of Light bug, and my Trail of Light ability was doing like 15% of my healing at the end of the dungeon, and possibly being the top heal as well. Possibly being my top heal. Now Trail of Light was doing like 5% of my healing, so we saw like a 10%. We saw a 10% loss in that ability. Then there were a couple of nerfs on it. It's not the end of the world, but I don't think Blizzard is even close to finished tuning Holy Priest, because they want Prayer of Healing to be a thing, and it's not really there. Mana issues with Totemic, loss of all tier set, Farseer, Ancestors possibly need a redesign, Smart Healing. Farseers need to cast Healing Rain, which is a negative for most people. Tier set and Acid Rain. Because of tier set and Acid Rain, they could use what's the positive negatives here? Oh yeah, negative also would be Ancestral Vigor needs 2 points now. What's the positives beside the Farseer buffs? What would I put in positives for this? I don't know, man. I don't know. Holy Paladin should have Mythic Plus multipliers just like Sins in the Many for this priest. I think there should be different balancing for Mythic Plus and raids in terms of auras. I actually think they need to start doing that. They refuse. They refused to make Resto Shaman meta because they were meta for 2 weeks in season 1. You know what? Resto Shaman's been like that for quite a while. It was meta in Dragonflight at the end of season 1 or the start of season 2 for like a month or 2, and then they got nerfed. It's the life of Shaman, I feel. Farseer and Oracle are scuffed hero talents, at least on the healer side with Farseer. I don't like Oracle either. I would agree with you, but I'm sure these people will like it, right? I don't like Oracle either. They keep doubling down on the concepts instead of going back to the drawing board. It's holy. Oh, I already read that. If they give you the Shami is meta, bro. Only problem. Same have his mana. I'm assuming like mana issues if they do meta. The mana issues you can go Farseer, right? No, I'm talking about the change. This is only pluses and minuses in terms of what happened in season 2. We're not talking about the classes in general. Farseer needs to cast Healing Rain in season 2 because of the tier set, and Acid Rain, Farseer, this is technically not season 2. Actually, it is more season 2 related because Ancestors now scale with Mastery, so now they tend to do more overhealing. So now people are talking about how Ancestors should incorporate Smart Healing instead. Need Smart Healing. Mana issues with Totemic is worse in season 2 because you don't have a tier set. And AV needs 2 points. These are only to do with changes that happen in season 2. I don't think I missed anything else. I don't know, maybe I did. I don't know, maybe I did. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I can't remember now. Let's do Mistweaver. Mistweaver Monk. No, these are still not allowed to enter. Melee efficiency. Okay, I spelled that completely wrong. Melee efficiency when dealing with small pulse is increased. I don't know if that's the proper way of saying it. Melee efficiency when dealing with small. I guess it's not melee efficiency. I guess it's because Thunder Focus Tea has also been increased. Oh, sorry, the Crackling Jade Lightning efficiency when dealing with small pulses is increased. So your blackout kick, the way that you work with some of your cooldowns, your Thunder Focus Tea, Jade Empowerment, Crackling Jade Lightning feels better to be used on like 1 or 2 targets than it did before. Well, not exactly for 1 and 2 targets for Jade Empowerment. That got nerfed as well today or a couple of days ago, so we need to look into that as well. But generally speaking, you're doing more healing when facing small targets, which technically could lead to some interesting raid builds. Could lead to interesting raid builds. Can I please check my WhatsApp? Wait. Mouseketeer. Dude, we can't even test Mythic Plus because the servers are down. Help me. Help me. My theory about Resto Shaman is that it's meta at the start because people need the utility when undergeared and don't know mechanics. That's not even theory. That's 100% true. Resto Shaman tends to be much better at the start of the season when you need to overheal, when you don't know mechanics, when you need the utility like interrupts and all of those things because people don't know what the hell's going on. It's 100% true. It's been like that for a long time. And then Discipline Priest is one of those healers, once people know exactly what's going on, disc becomes the shit, right? Like it's exactly like that. It's not a not a personal theory. It actually happens quite a lot. I say the healing rain thing is neutral. Some dislike it, but some it feeds into the shaman fantasy and use it more often. Maybe you're right, to be honest. To be honest, maybe you're right. To be honest, it is more of a preference thing. Wait, there is a neutral sign somewhere. Is this the neutral sign? I don't have it on my keyboard. What is this squiggly line called? Oh yeah, equals would be the same one. I usually do it equals. I do this list like all the time. To be honest, you're right. It would be a more... Efficiency, so this is your book. What do you think of the top 2 healers will be next season? Right now, it's Disc and Mistweaver Monk. We'll see what it is at the end of it. The question of saying what the top healers are going to be next season is basically asking what the lottery tickets to some extent are going to be. Nothing's guaranteed, okay? People seem to think that what happens on PTR... Like, I'll give you an example. Season 1. PTR servers. Discipline Priest was fucking dog shit. It was dog shit for 90% of PTR in Mythic Plus because, first of all, the scaling, you know, the atonement scaling. Atonements used to do more healing when they go in Mythic Plus versus what they do in Raid. That wasn't working for literally like 5 weeks. Like, there were so many groundbreaking bugs for Discipline Priest when it comes to Mythic Plus content on Season 1. Discipline was pretty much dog shit or like C or D, like bottom of the list for 90% of Season 1 PTR testing. What happens? A week before the patches or the expansion is launching, they fix the bugs, they increase the amount of atonement healing that it does in 5-man groups. They put out a lot of fixes, and then Discipline Priest skyrockets in healing. But it doesn't become meta because people are still not talking about the buffs that much. They're not talking about the buffs that much because most people already tested. This is why like the tier list and healer testing and stuff like that kind of can lead to like misguided, like, you know, whatever's meta is, whatever. But like either way, Discipline Priest becomes way stronger. It's not meta in Mythic Plus. Resto Shaman is meta in Mythic Plus in Season 1. Everyone's playing Resto Shaman, everyone's talking about all the utility, all everything, HP, all Discipline gets a little bit of more buffs, like a tiny amount of buffs, nothing too crazy. No one's playing Discipline Priest in Mythic Plus. Then in 10.7 or 10.5, I can't remember which one it was. Early in Season 1, Blizzard reworks half the classes. They rework like Prot Paladin, or they do huge Prot Paladin changes. Prot Paladin becomes the meta. You don't need interrupts from Discipline Priest. Prot Paladin works really well with Pain Suppression. Enhanced with Shaman needs Power Infusion. Discipline Priest becomes meta. The only difference that happened in Season 1 from Resto Shaman being meta to Discipline Priest being meta is that other classes became more popular. There wasn't really anything happening to Disc. And Discipline Priest was dog shit for 90% of PTR testing. So what does that mean? None of this matters. That's what this means. None of this matters in terms of determining what the meta is going to be. Because none of us knows exactly what Blizzard is going to do. All the tier lists are kind of dog shit and honestly misleading for everything. Like, there is... like... do you know what I mean? It just like, unless you're willing to re-roll 1 month into the patch, none of this really matters. The only thing that really matters, in my opinion, is trying, and that's what I'm trying to do the tier list about. That's my tier list has been for the last 3 weeks, about how I feel the class is designed. Do I like the design of the class? Do I like the way that it plays? And that's what I've been focusing on. Like, for example, I don't like Holy Paladin push towards Holy Light gameplay. I think it's long, cast, and expensive. I think Infusion of Light should shorten the cast. Am I spelling this right? Infusion of Light should shorten the cast. So I'm focusing more on like the other design of the class. The meta of specs, honestly, it's like it's very hard to see something strong right now. Like I showed you the example of Discipline Priest, right? It is what it is, right? Also, getting to know new dungeons is always a pain for Disc, especially in pokes like we just spoke about. Resto Shaman to carry the first few weeks. I don't know if it's 100% true for Discipline Priest, because I actually think Discipline Priest, at least the new version of Discipline Priest, is actually quite easy to play. And I know that sounds really weird, but like half the time you're just pressing. Don't get me wrong, once you get to really high keys and optimizing Discipline Priest's cooldowns and stuff like that, you're probably going to have notes and stuff like that about when to use your pet, when to use things like that. But I actually think that for the weekly keys, Discipline Priest is actually a quite easy healer to play. I'm not even kidding. I actually think Discipline Priest for weekly keys is one of the easier healers to play. When it comes to hierarchies, I think it becomes harder. And that's talking about Season 1. Season 2, you don't have the cooldown reduction that you used to have in Season 1. So now if you fuck up your casts, you don't even lose anything. Your cooldown reduction, which is I think flat 30 seconds to your Void Rat, is just really nice. I'm probably going to change my difficulty of healer ranking by quite a bit. The main difficulty with Priest is that it has no utility in pug groups. Not having an interrupt, not having a proper stop or whatever is really annoying. It's really annoying. I'm probably going to change my priest difficulty, sorry, my healer difficulty ranking a little bit. I actually think Preservation will take the top as being the hardest healer in the game, in Mythic Plus. I think Preservation will take the top. I think I'll bump up melee healers a little bit higher in terms of the ranking, because I think being melee is much more difficult this season. And I think I'll rank down Discipline. We'll see. I mean, it's probably a hot take for me anyways. Like, I like hot takes, right? Holy Priest is getting the short end of this thing again. I hope they're gonna tune it. I think they will. My hottest of hot takes is that Holy Paladin needs a full ground-up redesign. It's Frankenstein of ideas. They basically tossed the rework of a DF by throwing out Daybreak. Glimmer, Tears has been useless. All the development time spent on the War Within beta on Light of the Martyr was wasted. The specs needs Jesus. I don't think that's a hot take at all. I think Holy Paladin has been a culmination of 7 different reworks that have failed, but certain aspects stayed. It's an abomination of a caster and a melee, and then a bunch of different reworks that they try to do throughout. Like, I don't think that's... some people will say that Herald of the Sun, Holy Paladin is the best playstyle they ever had, so to each its own. No movement and Priest still feels awful. It does. I would agree. Yo, Sick Daddy, what up? What up, player? Let me see if I can test. Nope. I still can't. The dungeons are still down, brother. The dungeons are still down. I'm talking about Mythic Plus, by the way. In Raid, it would probably be very different. This Priest was hard to play, but honestly, whoever thinks this Priest is hard to play now really has issues of understanding complexity. Don't get me wrong, man. This Priest for probably 90% of World of Warcraft has been the hardest healer to play. I just feel like in the last season, I think in the last 2 seasons in Mythic Plus, Discipline Priest has dropped in complexity significantly. I mean, it's not even a hot take. Blizzard has been trying to dumb down Discipline Priest for the last 2 expansions. They've been literally trying to dumb down Discipline Priest, and I think it's to some extent working, right? You know, I think it's not a bad thing to take a good working spec and make it playable without having 20 buttons for the right moment. I feel like min-maxing difficulty comes from the other aspects of the dungeon, but the design of the smoothness of this right now looks very fun and inviting. There's already a shortage of healers. This might be a good step. People seem to think I'm saying it in a bad way. Discipline Priest is peak. I actually think Discipline Priest season 1, I think season 2 is peak, is the shit. I think the way that Discipline Priest feels right now, with the consistent cooldown reduction, with like send Radiance, send your pet, send Mind Blast type of gameplay, and just spam buttons or whatever, is fucking fun as hell. I don't think there's anything wrong about dumbing down Discipline Priest. People seem to think that, like, when I talk about like dumbing down healers and stuff like that, it's a bad thing. There's absolutely nothing wrong. I actually think Discipline Priest is probably one of the most fun healers to play in Mythic Plus with Mistweaver Monk. I mean, coincidentally, they're the 2 most OP healers, which also goes into the point that healers need to be rewarding. Fun is also playing a healer that feels rewarding, where your buttons that you press feel like they're doing stuff, right? And I think the way that Discipline Priest achieves that, because of the atonement scaling that it has in Mythic Plus versus the atonement scaling that you have in Raid. And I'm actually starting to think that that kind of scaling that you have in Mythic Plus versus Raid needs to be applied for more healers out there. Like, for example, Holy Priest Prayer of Healing probably could use something like that as well. I think Holy Paladin could definitely, like, Holy Shock could definitely use something like that as well. I think Holy Shock should feel more powerful. Like, if they make Holy Shock too powerful in Mythic Plus, if they make Holy Shock appropriate in Mythic Plus, it'll be too powerful in Raid or whatever. Or even Glimmer. If you had Glimmer back, it should be way more powerful in Mythic Plus than it is in Raid, right? Things like that. Things like that. Like, that's why I like the Mistweaver a lot, because they technically did this to some extent, because they made it scale a lot better on like 1 or 2 targets versus larger targets, and now like single target bosses feel way better to play as a Mistweaver Monk. It's really cool, right? I need to play Farseer. I want to try Farseer though. No. I'm not saying it just to you specifically. I've seen this in comments before about, like, when I talk about complexity of classes. I 100% agree with your take. Holy Paladin is hobbling around trying to figure out if it's a builder, spender, caster, melee, how much percentage beacon healing should transfer, where Holy Shock fits in. The Judgment Crusader strike should not or should heal. Way too much power baked into wings. There's just no clear design philosophy on how the spec should play. It's a mess. I wouldn't disagree with everything here. Only reason Discipline Priest, in my opinion, is hard because they are knowledge checks, and people nowadays want to have everything all topped in one button. So of course it's hard for them. What I'm confused is that the majority of WoW player base, not Gen Z, can't focus, need gratification now. Yet they behave like that. I get what you're saying. When you look at the disc of Mistweaver, every spell and interaction has a clear purpose and interaction. Holy Paladin does not have this. If I can't make the health bar pump up with a fun little shadow bolt and a squid, it just feels good. Just separate Mythic Plus build layouts and raid layouts should allow them to make changes more targeting the Mythic Plus player base. I think they need to do something with scaling of Mythic Plus and raids for classes, for sure. I think they need to do something with that. Players standing their ground on Mythic Plus only play as greater balancing issues for Blizzard, needing to balance 30 plus specs for raid content while also balancing the same 30 specs in an entirely different content style is an unwinnable game. It is very hard. It is very hard, but this is what Blizzard does 24/7. It's a $1 billion company that has a lot of employees, or should have more employees. We're not talking about a hobbyist company this is one of the biggest companies in gaming that does this 24/7, that has players, and technically, think about this. The amount of data that they collect from players doing free testing in Mythic Plus and raids and stuff like that. It is a hard task, but Blizzard should have the resources to do this in a better way. And a lot, like, think about this. The issues with Discipline Priest. Discipline had the worst scaling for such a long time, and then Blizzard was like, oh hey, what if we do atonement scaling in Mythic Plus and raids? What if atonement is gonna heal for way more in Mythic Plus, and it's going to heal for less in raids? That one singular change has made huge impact on Discipline Priest and in terms of how it plays in Mythic Plus and raids. I don't think Blizzard would have a hard or would have an impossible time to do that with a lot of other specs. But I know, at least I know there isn't for a big company, there isn't that many devs, man, for Blizzard. So I don't know, maybe they could do it. I mean, I get your point. There's a lot of balancing. I get your point, man. I get your point. There's a lot of balancing, but I do think that Blizzard can do it, right? If Blizzard can't do it, then no one can, right? Because the resources they have should be like beyond infinite, right? Come on for people to tell me off because they stand in swords on the ground and I can't heal through one shots. Nah, it shouldn't be too bad. I'm hoping it's not gonna be too bad. I really tried to get behind Holy Paladin the start of the world, then just can't stick with it being melee with throwing some hard casts. And I was used from Mistweaver DF Season 3, but the whole build spanned the conflict with Holy Shock gameplay. Some abilities build Holy Power, but others similars don't, and no clear direction how to deal with direct healing checks. Really confused the hell out of me. Honestly, I would go back to Dragonflight Season 2 Holy Paladin. A little bit of a toned down version of that. Not super OP. I would go back to that gameplay. Instant cast abilities just send everyone. I think it was kind of fun. It's both balancing issue as well as a satisfying player base issue with the balancing. The satisfying player base issue, there is no clear solution to that. Someone's gonna be upset. 100%. Well, I kind of went off. Mistweaver efficiency when dealing with small pulls is increased. Could lead to interesting raid builds. Oh yeah, I should say Jade Empowerment, Crackling, Jade Lightning are super fun too. Wait, no, but that's not Season 2 related. That's like related here. No, I'll just include it. Jade Empowerment, Crackling, Jade Lightning is super fun to play. I'll just include it here. Because they do tie in with this one. Oh, I guess the negatives are gonna be being melee in Season 2 can be annoying. But I could include that in Holy Paladin as well. I don't know what I include for negative. I guess that's probably the biggest negative, being melee in Season 2. Like, this thing here is huge. This thing here is huge, man. Like, I don't think people understand how big this is. It's very nice. Like, Mistweaver doesn't... I don't even think Mistweaver's gameplay is all that crazy when it comes to Mythic Plus. Crazy different. It just feels more rewarding. That's the biggest thing. In Raid, I've seen quite a few different builds in Raid being used, so I don't know. I don't know what else to press for Mistweaver Monk. I don't know what else to press for Mistweaver Monk for Season 2. I want to do Disc Priest. Still remembering Vampire Paladin on beginning channels. I talking about the. Oh my god, I forgot the Ashen Hallow. The problem with Season 2 DF Holy Paladins is that they had way too many turn mana into more HPS. What was that? What was that ability? Daybreak. That lasted for less than an expansion. Your healing was permanently tied to your holy power generation. I'm trying to think of last time I had fun. For me, the most fun Holy Paladin is when your instant cast abilities felt really powerful and it didn't need to hardcast. That was the most fun. I like the melee play style where you go and press the Crusader Strike. I don't have issues with Holy Power generation as long as Holy Power spenders feel useful. We went through seasons of Holy Paladin where Holy Power spenders were borderline not useless, but they were like whatever. I don't mind the Holy Power generation as long as it's useful. I like instant casts from Holy Paladin feeling useful. I like the whole niche of Holy Paladin being this spot healer where someone loses HP. Holy shock. Holy shock. Holy shock. Let's go. I like that kind of gameplay. There was also that ineffable truth degenerate gameplay that I really enjoyed, even though it was a degenerate gameplay, but that's probably my fondest memories of playing Holy Paladin is the BFA Holy Paladin with the infinite scaling Glimmer of Light and the Holy Shock. Like, I'll be honest with you, I'm not even memeing here. This is gonna come across really weird when I say this. This is gonna be my hot take of the day. This is gonna be my hot take of the day. Simple healers, simple classes are better for the game than complex things. From everything that I've seen so far, from the player participation, everyone gravitates to whatever's simple. Red Paladin is probably the most played spec in the game right now. One of the simplest DPS, not even a melee DPS to some extent. BM Hunter, extremely fun to play. Fondest memories, Holy Paladin, Ineffable Truth, Holy Shock spamming. Some of the fondest memories I've had of healers was when they were at their simplest. They were actually at their simplest, man. Everything that I've seen so far, from all the data and analytics or whatever, is that simplicity is what people actually enjoy way more. I'm not saying you can't have specs that are insanely difficult, insanely hard to pull off. There should be a floor. Certain specs are really, really hard. Certain specs are very, very easy. But from what I've seen, man, people just want simplicity, or a lot of people want simplicity, because the game already has 700,000 mechanics happening at the same time. And like, worrying about your rotation it's like a lot of people don't want it. I've seen a lot of people doing those one-shot macro things. I've seen channels doing these things where they make a macro where you just press one button to do your whole abilities. Macros where you press one button to do your whole rotation, and those are extremely popular. Macro helpers like, I can't remember the name now, Hikili and stuff like that, extremely popular. I think this game, to some extent, is getting too convoluted. And people are looking, I think people like bosses being somewhat difficult. I think people, like in my opinion, I really enjoy Mythic Plus. I think very few games offer what Mythic Plus does in WoW. But I think the complexity of dungeons, complexity of bosses, and the complexity of classes is too much for a lot of people. And they much rather would have a simple class with like difficult bosses, difficult raids, and they would have a good time with that. But that's my hot take. But that's just my hot take. The hot take of plebiness. He is a pleb. He is a pleb. He is a pleb. I don't know if I'll be able to test Mythic Plus today though. That's the only issue, man. The servers are down. I don't know if I want to spend the whole... I might just go do a video. I mean, why are they doing Dark Moon Cleft? You can't even enter Dark Moon Cleft. You can't even enter it, bro. You can't even... Wait, did I just turn off my chat? I think I just turned off my chat. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Let me catch up on that. It's correct, of course, the 1% players want more of a challenge, and they're the only ones crying in the forums, but the majority of players wants phone functioning specs that just does stuff. Look at how this exploded. Meditation basically just became 5 buttons. Honestly, I think Holy Paladin feel better without Holy Power at all. Just make the spenders have cooldowns to reduce true gameplay and cooldowns. I mean, to each its own. Some people, there's a lot of people who don't like Holy Power for Holy Paladins. My add to that, if it is complex and you master it, you should be heavily rewarded, not be on par or 2% ahead of those simple classes. Make it at least 10%. Dude, I've been talking about that for quite a while, about the complexity of specs, and the complexity of specs should be rewarded. It used to work like that. It used to work like that. I don't know how people remember the Surrender to Madness Shadow Priest, where if you fuck up your rotation, you literally die and you can't be rezzed. So, like, that was the prime example of, hey, if you play this and you pull this off, you're gonna do some juicer damage. And if you don't play this, or if you don't pull this off, you are literally just going to die. And then they nerfed it because the top end players were just pulling insane numbers. And it's literally got nerfed because of the top 1%. It got nerfed because of the top 1%. I think streaming and clips and stuff like that has made Blizzard react in a really negative way sometimes. You see a clip where a certain class does shitloads of damage, and then Blizzard is like, well, that needs to be nerfed, that needs to be done. Like, at the end of the day, I don't think Blizzard should look at the top 1% or whatever at all. I think they should just like... I actually think let the top 1% or whatever do whatever they want in terms of things. To be honest, that's a hot take as well. Let me see if I can enter. I don't know where I was rambling on with that one. I was going nowhere with that one, man. Man, how do they expect to enter these dungeons? It's broken. Yeah, to be honest, I agree. If complex classes did 10% more damage healing, you just be forced to play them every season in order to, yeah. I can see both sides of this. I can see both sides of this. But the thing is, like, it's hard, man. I feel like balancing is a hard job. I don't envy Blizzard in this. I don't envy Blizzard in a lot of things. I think balancing is a lot harder than people make it out to be. It's very easy to criticize, but when you think about trying to balance Mythic plus when you look at trying to balance Mythic plus raids and all of that, so many specs and all that. Alright, man. This is looking like a pleb stream. This is looking like a pleb stream, boys. I can't test Mythic Plus. Change animations to Resto Shaman's Healing Wave. Used to look like Healing Wave. Used to look like Healing Surge. Honestly, I haven't even noticed. They did change the animation to Lightning Bolt, though. %10% for complexity might be too much, but the simplest one should never be top DPS in either raid, meta, and Mythic Plus. You can still do comparative DPS, but having BM Hunter being top DPS is spitting in the face of every complex spec. That's been said before when BM... Do you remember when BM used to be... like, was it Legion? Where BM was like top... BM Hunter was a top DPS for a season or two. And I remember people were like... I had my hunter. I was actually playing my hunter a bit as well, and people were like, "Yeah, this should not be a thing. Easiest spec doing the most thing," but like, I think you can have. I think you can have. There is a stats. Yeah. Actually, this is stats for all regions, entire season, all Mythic Plus levels. This is stats for like the most popular specs. Red Paladin, Resto Shaman. I mean, Prot Paladin is meta. These two specs here are probably the easiest of their counterparts. Resto Shaman is one of the easiest healers. Red Paladin is one of the easiest DPS. Red Paladin is an insane pleb bait. It's an insane pleb bait. I'm not saying, to be honest, it's not pleb bait. Red Paladin is one of the easiest DPS classes to play. It has insane survivability, so you don't have to worry about survivability like other specs rotating your defensives. It has an easy rotation. It's not even melee to some extent, and it has an insane amount of utility. You can definitely grab a quick 3k score as a Red Paladin with subpar abilities. Probably the easiest way to get yourself a 3k plus score is to play Red Paladin. And half the time people won't even realize that you might be bad. You could be bad and get 3k as a Red Paladin. That's what I'm saying. Which is honestly not bad for the game. You know why it's not bad for the game? Because like I said, simplicity is... People are looking for simplicity. People are looking for simplicity and stuff like that. And I think... Like Resto Shaman and stuff like that. Plus Red Paladin is really fun to play. I should have mentioned that. Red Paladin is fun to play. Most people who play Red Paladin will tell you that Red Paladin is really fun to play. Now, I don't know if people say that because it is easy to play and you see good numbers. Because I definitely, and myself included, tend to associate fun with numbers and big numbers on the screen, right? It's very hard to disassociate from that kind of thing. Okay, man, I don't think we'll be able to do a lot. I think I'm gonna go do work on a video. I think your boy's gonna work on a video, man. There's no testing today. Blizzard said no. Oh yeah, cooldowns. Red Paladin's cooldowns are basically, it's not cooldown dependent. You know. And defensives are mostly passive as well. Exactly, like that's the thing. Do the more complex specs feels bad though, or is it just because you aren't getting rewarded? You think design could be better, in my opinion, but the reward isn't there either. But we also had the problem like where complex specs, if they get rewarded too much, then you're almost forced to play some of them, right? I roam the open world as red, and I'm soloing Delves 11 now with it. Playing it is turbo easy and very fun. That's what I heard. That's basically what I hear. Rewarded for playing complex specs as well, in addition to not having simple specs be ways ahead. I wonder how the game would be if all DPS classes were easy to play on a level of Red Paladin, while all the complexity is left to tanks and healers. That way you would have gratification of mastering a complex spec, and the DPS could go unga bunga. Touch stuff on the ground around them instead of watching for procs on 200 different weak auras. I mean, to some extent, it's almost working like that already. I feel like in Season 1, tanks and healers have very anxiety-inducing jobs. I would actually like to see... This sounds really weird. I think the DPS specs are fine in the way that they are right now, because DPS is, in my opinion, less anxiety inducing gameplay in Mythic Plus. I would actually like healers and tanks to be simplified so they could focus more on other things. Does that sound weird? If you simplify tanks and healers, which are the most anxiety inducing roles right now, they could focus on other things, and the DPS is already fine. They can focus on their rotation. I mean, all they have to do is focus on their rotation, right? There's nothing really else besides that in terms of damage and stuff. Don't get me wrong, man. A good DPS is very hard to play. A good DPS can be very hard to play. Like, really good DPS. but you're not gonna feel the same amount of exhaustion after a key after playing a DPS versus a healer or tank. But it's a fun food for thought thing, right? It's a fun food for thought type of thing. I mean, they're making tanking easier. A lot of tank busters, to be honest, they're probably making healing. They're not doing the same treatment for healers as they're doing for tanks. That's for sure. That's for sure. That's for sure. Okay, man. Blizzard doesn't... I don't know why even the keys are being advertised. How are you supposed to enter a plus 12 rookery? None of the dungeons... Let me try a different healer. If none of the dungeons are open, I'm gonna have to go and pleb out on a video or something. I'm gonna have to go and pleb out in a video. Maybe do a short. A YouTube short. A YouTube short. Rather than take a side note, complexity Holy Priest, that was in my guild during the F only played Holy because it was the easiest healer, and they flat out said they have priest can't interrupt or any mob control they were expected to use on top of healing, that they would quit healing entirely. I remember when he told me that. Like, the simplicity of specs is... a lot of players, I'm willing to bet that there's a lot of players like that. Healers depend solely on the DPS using or not using the defenses. To be honest, I love playing healers, but most things are not dependent on using healer. Obviously 100% agree with this. People have been talking about the defensive bloat for quite a while. I think next expansion Blizzard should experiment, because it's too late now. I think next expansion Blizzard should experiment about removing most of the defensives from classes, so you don't have defensives, and then tuning healing checks accordingly. Because right now, if you have a healing check, you have to assume that every single spec has 1 or 2 defensives. Certain specs have 3 defensives. And then other specs can give defensive to others. And then, all of a sudden, when you're tuning healing checks, you have to look at absurd amount of healing checks because you have to assume that people are using defensives. And what happens is that you go into a pug environment and people don't use their defensives, and then the healing checks are insane, and then people moan at the healer. So a clear solution in this case is remove the defensives from specs and then tune the healing checks accordingly so the healing checks don't feel absurd, and then the healer can deal with them and they're not reliant on others to use their defensives. This is something that's been proposed for a very long time, but I don't think Blizzard is going to do that this expansion. I think they could very much entertain the thought of doing that in the next expansion, hopefully. Because I think it would introduce a completely different dynamic. A completely different dynamic. We'll see. Anyways, Mythic Plus Dungeons, I lied to you today, guys. I apologize. I said Mythic Plus testing all day today, but I can't even enter a dungeon. I lied to you guys. I hope you will forgive me in time. I can't enter a single dungeon. It's apparently been like that for the last 8 hours or something. Oh? Wait! I'm gonna go hopefully work on a video on a short or something like that. I really do apologize. I should have probably tested. I should have probably checked if the dungeons were working from yesterday before starting the stream. But I'm an absolute rat. They call me the rat boy. The Ratasaurus Rex. I'm sorry about this. Hopefully, I'm kind of hoping to stream on Sunday. Saturday is my day off. I'm hoping to stream on Sunday, but if I'm not on Sunday, I will 100% be back on Monday. So today's stream is not really a stream, but I'm hoping to see yous. To be honest, I need to do a Resto Shaman testing. I hope to see yous on Sunday or Monday. And hopefully by then, Blizzard is gonna get their shit together with this testing, man, because this is just... Oh! Why do people even signing up? I don't think they did exactly the same what I did. Anyways, I mean, they said they were looking at defensive load during interview for the War Within beta, and then they added more defensives to your hero talents. Yeah. I miss healers could be more the hero saving group that it is today. Healers can't do nothing if the DPS is using defensive coolers at the right time. I do miss the time when people would be like, whoa, this healer is popping off. Wow, we only survived this because of the healer. Those moments are kind of rare. They're still there, but they're kind of rare. Most of the time people would be like, whoa, this healer is doing so much damage and healing. So much DPS. I do miss the time when, like, you know. But that's to do with the defensive load. You know. It has to do with the defensive bloat as well. Defensive bloat. Before we go, I'd like to know whether you think healing was peak, fun, or skill expression, BFA, Shadowlands, DF, do you think that would be an ideal world for all of us plebs? Honestly, this is such a loaded question, because I could talk like so long about this, because I've been thinking about where healing was peak, because healing went through so many different iterations, right? You used to have healing where one of your heals would top up a person instantly, and you would play the ping pong game, where if you're especially in raid, where you're the first person to get to someone, you're gonna heal them and everyone else is gonna go into overhealing, right? So that used to be a playstyle that existed, where like your heals would be extremely powerful and they would heal up everyone, and the ping pong gameplay, some people liked it, some people don't. Then Blizzard increased players' HP, so that meant your hot or your heal would do like 20% of players' HP. So that means you would have to do more heals or work as a team to do it. And that was one of the big issues when it comes to Mythic Plus, in terms of how do you scale players' HP and how do you scale enemies' damage. Because if players' HP stays really high and a healer needs to cast 7 or 8 heals or 5 heals or 3 heals to top them up, but the enemy damage, one bolt brings them to 50%, it feels like you have a catch-up gameplay that can feel really overwhelming. So there's always been a problem with terms of how do you scale enemy damage versus players' HP. I have very fond memories of BFA. I have very fond memories, like I talked about Ineffable Truth, Holy Paladin. I thought that was very degenerate and very fun. I had fun of Legion, but I don't know if I have fun of Legion Mythic Plus because it was like the first time they was introduced. There were challenge modes and stuff like that, but I had a lot of fun in Legion. But that might be a bit of nostalgia, right? That might be a bit of nostalgia, man. This is gonna come across really weird, but I did like Shadowlands Mythic Plus. Man. I've been thinking about this for a very long time to see how I feel about this in terms of Shadowlands Mythic Plus. Or a lot of it was healer damage was really important versus healer. There wasn't a whole lot of healing checks, and I've been thinking for probably the last year if I would like to go back to that gameplay. And is it better for the actual community? Is it better to go back to less healing checks and more healer damage than what it is right now? Because yes, there will be tier lists, and those tier lists are going to be like, yes, the best healer is the one that does damage. But on the flip end, the majority of the community not doing really high keys, they'll be doing they'll be healing a key, but it'll be extremely chill or way more chill because you don't have that many healing checks. So I've been really thinking, trying to get in the minds of like what a game developer would think. Is it better to make healing chill and bring back players? And the consequence of that would be that healer damage would mean more in terms of ranking healers. But in the grand scheme of things, there might be more players playing the game because healing feels easier. And I don't know the answer to that. I don't know the answer to that. I really don't. But I think it's really interesting to think about. I think it's really... at the end of the day, I do think the healer should heal. And damage should not be the primary thing that determines what healer is good. But at the same time, I think a lot of healers just want to have a chill time. I think healers just want to have a chill time. I think they're kind of overworked lately. I think healers are kind of overworked lately, dude. Anyways, I hope you all gonna have a wonderful day, wonderful weekend. Check out YouTube and all those things, man. We're gonna be doing videos. Video star. Video star. Video star. Video star. I hope you all gonna have a wonderful weekend. I'll talk to you later on. Unless Blizzard fixes Mythic Plus testing, we'll have to see. Take it easy.